I personally grew up in poverty and I was able to video game my entire life. Are you telling me now gaming is only for the middle and upper class? That's exactly what the prices are saying. All right, yeah. So about 3 weeks ago, I think it was, I gave fair warning NBA 2K26 will cost you more. It was a news update talking about the price hikes in gaming, making note that there's going to be all bad. And about 2 months prior to that video, I also gave fair warning you'll be paying $100 for your video games. Ironically, here we are 2 months later, and Xbox makes an announcement that they're raising prices on their consoles up to $100 more, and prices will also be raised on a good part of their video game catalog. And as I mentioned in those previous videos, as soon as one company, one gaming developer decides to raise prices for video games, you guys best believe that damn near every other gaming developer and gaming company is going to follow suit. You want to know what bothers me the most about this stuff? Is that I believe there's only maybe a handful of developers that actually deserve to raise their prices. Some developers noticeably put way more effort into their games, and they even put way more time into developing the game. But 2K, they are not one of those developers. But I'm almost certain that 2K is going to be one of the first to raise the prices yet again. If you guys didn't know, 2K was the first gaming company to raise the price for their standard version of the game from $60 to $70, creating a milestone and setting a new trend in the gaming industry as a bunch of other less deserving gaming developers raised their prices as well on some of our favorite video games. And only a few years later, here we are, prices, they're getting raised yet again. We finna get into all the details. If any of you guys are new here, consider dropping a like and a sub. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's get to the video. It's AllCity. Load up that clip. I guess the question is, are 2K players ready to see price hikes on NBA 2K games? How many of you guys are willing to pay $80 to $100 for the standard version of an NBA 2K game? I was talking about this in yesterday's live stream. I think NBA 2K26, if there's any year that 2K has room to raise their prices, it will be for NBA 2K26. There are a couple things that I want you guys to take note of. Firstly, I don't think there's going to be an old gen version of NBA 2K26. And if there isn't, this means that 2K is going to lose the sales of the old gen version of games. That will more than likely encourage them to raise prices for new gen games. Secondly, and more impactful, the NBA licensing agreement that NBA 2K signed with the actual NBA, that licensing agreement is up in 2026. If I'm not mistaken, the last licensing agreement cost NBA 2K $1.9 billion. The NBA will be charging about 10 to 15% of what NBA 2K actually brings in. Considering that NBA 2K24 was a milestone year in regards to sales for NBA 2K, and also considering that NBA 2K25 has already met the sales at this point in time for what NBA 2K24 brought in. It was a milestone year for 2K last year, and it's going to be a milestone year for 2K this year. 10 to 15% on a milestone year for a new NBA licensing agreement, we could expect that licensing agreement to go maybe upwards of $3 billion. And that's probably going to be over the course of another 7 years. Let me ask you guys, do you think NBA 2K is going to take that hit? Or will 2K pass those costs on to the consumers, the 2K player base? I personally have a strong feeling they'll be passing those costs on to us. But all of this information I just provided you guys, that's going to fly right under the radar because the entire gaming industry will be raising prices on their products and games. And it's all starting with Xbox players. And I just made the switch to Xbox. Ain't that some? Let's take a look at this first snippet. It says Microsoft is raising prices on Xbox by a lot. In an announcement today, the company said it will be raising prices on Xbox consoles, controllers, headsets, and some games. The price hikes for consoles and accessories kicks in today. That was on May 1st. This was sent out. And while game prices will stay the same for now, we should expect to see Xbox charging $79.99 for new first-party games around the holiday season. Price increases are taking effect globally, with the exception of headset prices, which are only going up in the US and Canada. In this next snippet, the gaming industry seems to be pointing the finger at the new tariffs in place by President Trump. It says the price hikes arrived during a turbulent and uncertain time for the gaming industry, largely due to new tariffs implemented by US President Donald Trump and responding retaliation from targeted countries, notably China. Economists have warned that the steeper levies will result in higher prices on a range of consumer goods relying on a global supply chain today, including electronics. This post goes on to say, and Xbox players aren't the first gamers to feel impacts amid these ongoing trade wars. Last month, Sony, for example, raised its recommended retail pricing for PlayStation 5 consoles in select markets, including countries in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, as well as Australia and New Zealand. At the time, the company cited a challenging economic environment, including high inflation and fluctuating exchange rates. But Xbox and PlayStation weren't the first to raise prices either. It says Microsoft isn't the first company to announce price increases on games, as Nintendo announced that its Mario Kart World for the Switch 2 console will start at $79.99. The company also increased the price of its Joy-Con 2 controllers from $90 to $95, while the Switch 2 Pro controllers rose from $80 to $85. Now, there's something weird going on because the actual gaming companies aren't really citing that it's the tariffs that are causing them to raise prices. It says here, while Microsoft didn't specifically call out tariffs when laying out its price increases, the company noted that it made the decisions with careful consideration, giving market conditions and rising costs of development. And I got a bone to pick with some of these gaming companies because they continue to say that there's a rising cost in development, but for some reason a lot of AAA titles aren't up to par with keeping up with the times on new gen consoles. A lot of the games that we receive from these AAA gaming companies, they're just mediocre at best. Surely they look nicer, but they seem to lack substance and depth. As a gamer, this has forced me to go back to older games that had substance, that they were created with love and care. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing that same care incorporated into some of these newer games. And someone please explain to me how the rising cost of developing these games will lead to rising costs in, say, an Xbox controller or an Xbox headset. I wanted to run through a list of all of the price hikes in bullet points. The Xbox Series S 512 gigabytes is now going to cost gamers $379, and that's up damn near $80 as the price was once $299.99. The 1 terabyte Xbox S is up to $429, which used to be $349. It was really affordable. If you guys are looking to get an Xbox X, which is the higher end version of Xbox, you will now have to pay $100 more than you did before May 1st. And if you're looking to purchase like a special edition 2 terabyte version of the Xbox, you can pay up to $129 more than what you did before May 1st as well. It also seems like you're paying $10 more for wireless controllers. An Xbox Elite controller used to cost you $139.99. You'll now pay $149.99. And an Xbox wireless headset up $10. You used to pay $109 and now you're paying $119. All right, yeah, so now I wanted to share some of my own personal thoughts on what's taking place in the gaming industry, because if you guys didn't know, the gaming industry is currently the #1 entertainment venue for most consumers out there that are seeking entertainment. Back in the day, it used to be like movies. You would go out and take your family to see your favorite movie, and you didn't have to worry about breaking the bank. The gaming industry, knowing that they're the #1 entertainment venue for most people, they're raising prices now similar to how the movie industry decided to raise prices on movie tickets. For the gaming industry, it seems to be even more concerning because these prices are like, there's a lot of people out there who work paycheck to paycheck that can't even afford to get a new gen console, let alone pay $80 to $100 for a single video game. I personally grew up in poverty and I was able to video game my entire life. Are you telling me now gaming is only for the middle and upper class? That's exactly what the prices are saying. And I'm personally worried that the gaming industry is headed down the same path as the movie industry. I believe Quentin Tarantino said it best. Let's take a listen.
I've been saying this since the 80s when movie ticket prices, they were $5 forever in America. And then all of a sudden they started moving up to $6.50 and $7 and $7.25 and $7.50 and all that stuff. The key to what you're saying is this is a working man's art form. Yeah. It's not opera, it's not theater, it's not going to a big concert. It was the idea was that anybody could go and see a movie. That was one of the reasons why movies flourished in the 30s, and it's not anymore. No. We have priced them out until now it's a deal.
If you guys are tired of running with randoms and you're looking for players to run with on NBA 2K, come on out and join the AllCity 2K Discord. The link will be in the description below. Find players and get runs now. Drop a like and drop a sub on your way out. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Easy, y'all.